Hi friends, my name is Maria and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going through my 2024 reading goals. Let's get into it. So first things first, I want to reflect on my 2023 goal. So currently I'm sitting at 25 out of 31 books, and the 31 was because it's my 31st trip around the sun. I'll be turning 31 next year, and so that was the reason for that number. But I will say that the 31 wasn't a big motivator for me to reading those 25 books that I read so far. Honestly, what motivated me more was just seeing other people on YouTube posting videos about books and just really enjoying them, and the books seemed like really fun to read, and so that's what got me into reading, and that's what pushed me through reading all of 25 books. Because once I was in the world, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many books to read. It's just so fun, and I'm so glad that I enjoy it and that I found it. But honestly, the 31 goal that I have on Goodreads wasn't the motivating factor for me. But I'm at 25 books, like I said, and so right now in the end of the year, it is motivating, I would say. Like, I'm trying to just like complete the goal, but it wasn't the thing that got me started into reading, if that makes sense. So that being said, for next year, I will be setting another numerical goal. The goal will be 32 books, and the idea being that it'll be my 32nd trip around the sun. I'll be turning 31 next year. I already know that won't be motivating for me, but for the purposes of Goodreads and just having a number that is measurable, I think that will be helpful. I thought about not setting a reading goal at all because of Cash. She has a video out there where she talks about her 2023, I think, reading goal, and she was like basically not setting a reading goal, and so I think that got me thinking into like something other than just doing a number, and so that's the idea for these goals in this video. And so the flip side of that is that I have another goal, which is to diversify my reading. And so within this, unfortunately, it's not something I can track on Goodreads, but I'm going to read from my phone what I'm thinking. So I would love to read one classic, and so that could be Jane Austen. I don't know if Jane Austen's a book or an author, I have no idea. It could be like Tolstoy. Again, don't know if that's a book or an author. But just some like Pride and Prejudice, whatever it might be, just want to read a classic book, because right now I have minimal desire to do that, but I do want to expand my reading and just like try different things. And then another goal is to read one general fiction book, so something that has absolutely no subplot of romance. Would be fun to see, do I enjoy this? Do I not? I don't know. One book that comes to mind is, I think it's called The House on Pineapple Street, or The Pineapple House on Mango Street, something like that. And I think that's a general fiction. It doesn't have any romance, and the cover is really pretty and colorful. Another goal is to read a fantasy series that has at least 3 books. And so I think that like requires some level of commitment and discipline. There are many fantasy series that have at least 3 books that I could choose from. But I think having something like that would just be really fun. I would love to read a biography. I've read biographies in the past. I think Steve Jobs' daughter wrote one called Small Fry, and I read that. I read a biography about Elon Musk, and I read one about Michelle Obama. So I think it would just be fun to be intentional about trying to read a biography sometime in 2024. I would also like to read 4 nonfiction books, and at least one of those being a personal finance book. And so just again, branching out, I think nonfiction is what got me into more of a reading slump. And so trying not to do too many nonfiction, but would like to dabble a little bit back into the nonfiction world. I think with nonfiction, I often feel that I have to take notes and just be very attentive. And so that's just like very energy consuming, versus fiction I don't feel like is quite so, it's not energy consuming in the same way that nonfiction is. I would also like to read 4 Christian books, and so these books would be non-ACBC books. I'm thinking about becoming a biblical counselor, and so for that you have to read at least 1,000 pages, and so that's between like 4 to 6 books depending on which books you choose from their list. But so for this one, for this like goal specifically, it would have to be 4 Christian books, but not ACBC books. I would also like to read 12 arcs. I read 3 arcs this year so far. There's another one I'm planning to read, but I think 12 arcs is very doable, like 1-ish per month. I think that would be fun. And then I also would like to set a DNF goal. I would like to DNF at least 2 books. And so the thinking being that it would give me more freedom to really just like put a book down and be like, hey, I don't have to finish every book that I start. Like, it's okay to let it go and then spend that time doing something else that I might enjoy more. And my last goal is to read the Bible in a year. My church has read the Bible in a year every year for the last, I think, 3 years, but I haven't done it with them, I think, for a variety of reasons, but I'm going to try to do it for 2024, but we'll see. A part of me is like, I don't even want to set a goal because I want to see how much would I read if there was no numbers attached to it at all. But I do also want to be intentional about trying different genres and committing to something that I enjoy. And so we'll see how it goes. Maybe 2025 I'll just set a numerical goal and be done with it, or maybe I won't set any goal at all. We'll see. But those are my goals for 2024. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Bookmas, and I'll see you in the next one.